Well, another blessed day. First things first, my name is Kenneth Bird. My company is Ileg Technology Screens. From all the videos you've been seeing, what's popping up in different various places at 50 lumens, we've been displaying the technology we've been working on that gives people the ability to be able to produce and watch movies and whatever you want to do outside in the daytime, which is a very hard thing for projection screens to do today. If you think about the history of projection screen technology, people have claimed to be able to operate outside, but you truly can't operate outside to actually reach direct sunlight. So we have a certain type of screen that has that capability, and we call it the sun vision. So it's Ileg, which is our gain. This is the new game we've been engineering for some time. It gives our screens the ability to do things that other screens can't do. As in for the ambient light projection, as an ALR, we consider that old technology when it comes to the ability to be able to produce and produce images and reject light to keep the screen from washing out. Because again, from the demonstrations I've seen with ambient light projection, all those demonstrations sit in this birthday cake effect environment. For those who know, we keep saying birthday cake effect. Is that when you get a birthday, we have a birthday, and all the lights are out in your environment, only the birthday cake is pulling off light. That's what we mean by birthday cake. I don't even consider that ambient light projection technology. But anyway, our technology, our new technology, has the ability to do things that other screens can't do. On top of that, we can read outside, which way lesser projectors lumen counts than other screens. We read outside at 50 to 300 lumens outside. So I like this whole, my other projector setup, my 50 lumens. We've been going out there with these test surface and getting some demonstrations done. A minute. I'm gonna make sure my stuff is ready to go because I'm gonna have to be out. Hopefully, we got a lot of rain coming through. So hopefully we'll get a couple of nice areas in there where we can get some demonstrations done in different areas, which I would like to do. And then later on, I got a bigger system coming in. It's a battery pack system that allows me to run the projector you see right there. And that will allow me to be able to take those larger surfaces outside and have some fun with them. Where the heck is, I'm trying to figure out exactly, where's the charge pack for this thing? I got a charge pack for this projector, and I'm gonna make sure it's fully charged before I go out there and diddle and daddle today. Oh, man. I have no idea where I left this thing at. Alright, hold on for a minute. Maybe I can somewhere. I found it. Alright, cool. Just like this. Charge thing I'm going to do. When I get out there, by the time I come back, all my equipment should be good to go. My phone taking out at 92. Bring that brightness down a little on that one. So that's good. We got a charge on this one. Make sure this will stay in charge, because I kill my phone in streams all the time. And I make sure this thing is plugged in and running. And no, you cannot come out, because you can come out, but you can't be seen on camera. Because I got everything up high now, so we can't see his little kibbles and bits. We try to do weird stuff on camera. Get this out of his view. Oh, no, we don't want that in the view. All right, stand. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you're not doing that. You're not fighting your fish. The minute camera comes on, he wants to go fight his fish on camera. You make weird noises. No. You want to go back in there? Or you want to get in trouble today? Or either way, I don't go with that. You don't got time for your conversations on phone, Taco. See, this is could be something trouble. Always getting some little trouble. The minute the camera comes on, they're like kids. The minute anything comes on, if you're on the phone talking, kids go run and do wild stuff, that's what he does. Anyway, can I get back to work? Thank you. All right, so anyway, yeah, we're going to be doing some demonstrations all around the city at 50 lumens. I want an amazing reputation behind this technology when we bring it to people like investors and companies, that we have a slew of videos showing this thing popping up everywhere. You know, I try to give a little bit of advice. When you hear me on camera say, if you want to get your product at such and such and so, if you want to do such and such and so, that's me telling people that who want to do something positive, you know, how to do it. Because you can't claim to have an ambient light rejection technology if you're basically inside. And yeah, that's the way I look at it. You know what I mean? And you have to be outside to do these demonstrations. So, you're claiming this, not good. Because again, you have to be to shut it off. Our technology can register inside, it can register outside. It doesn't have that issue. And we can register at very low lumen projectors because again, that's the best way to do it. If you're going to start you off at 5200 and high-end projectors, you're going to have a problem. The first time we did our test, we did it at 4,000 lumens. We did this in the blue house. We got the image to pull. The next time around we did it, I changed the formula and we added at 5200 lumens. I'm thinking, okay, 5200 lumens is actually extremely good because screens that are required, they don't even pull up that sharp, but they do pull up a vision. Screens usually in that category of 52 would be way too low. It'd be extremely too low. So they'd be suggesting somewhere between 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 50,000 on projectors. That's what they would be asking for. So that right there alone would be way too much, way too less at 52. So the formula that the Lord blessed us to have can do it at 50 to 300. Because you know why? Remember when I sat there in the middle of my floor and made that statement to the Lord, YouTube, and the world and said, hey, if I'm this person that they claim me to be, may I be outed. Guess what? Our technology just boomed right through the roof. That's why we have a 50 lumen pickup outside, because the Lord is telling you people out there who made these false statements against me that guess what? I'm the real deal at the end of the day. And guess what you are? You're fakes and phonies. That's why you were exposed on that level. Your stuff's not working. That's why you can't keep up to what we do. I sat there and said it. Did I not announce it? All right then. That's why we're walking around downtown all over the place with a 50 lumen projector in our pocket. So when you guys are inside with those big old machines, I'm inside with this. This is what I'm outside with. Just this, a 50 lumen projector that I had for 7 years, and I can read outside better than you can read inside. There you go. Anyway, I just had to put that out there real quick. Anyway, so yeah, so our goal is basically to get rid of this dumb nonsense of traditions of people getting rich, making money off screens that technically don't work. Number one, you're not reading the contracts. Never going to happen on any one of those screens. They'll never give you that capability unless the screen is physically black. If the screen is physically black, one of the problems you're going to run into is those white levels, color levels, which have to be done in serious, well-lit environments. And one of the things about black screens, what they say, they don't generate that well and well-lit environments because they have a hard enough time trying to generate white light because the environment is actually too well-lit. It conflicts with the screen. We don't have that issue, as you can see. I've done that at 250 inches outside. So, with that being said, that's one of the problems that black screens are supposed to go through. That's why if you call yourself making a black screen today, the testing you will have to have underneath one of these screens is insane. It'd be tons of testing underneath of it. If you're just coming out there from the door and say, look, I got a black screen, and no one will touch you. No forum site, nobody will touch you. They're going to ask you questions that you're going to have to show that screen can do it. So no one will touch you. That is the one surface, the one screen, the one color that is basically questioned the most out of any other screen that's ever designed. It's a black screen. You have to have a ton of information on that thing to show what it does. So since what I've seen in the black screen today, so-called black screens popping up, you don't have enough testing. You would have to reach my plateau in order for someone to buy from you. That's why they don't like us. Because when we raise that bar, every time we do some crazy, insane demonstration, customers are expecting you to do the exact same thing we are doing. And every time we come up with some new technology, we always come up with some crazy way to do something insane with it, and it raises the bar each time. Now, this is where the problem comes in for them. When a customer asks about our technology, and they'll say, well, it's fake, it doesn't work, and they'll do fake demonstrations to try to prove their point. This is where lawsuits come in. This is where you find yourself in court, and you have to pay out outstanding fines and fees. Sometimes it can be some very large, lengthy jail time. That's where your problem comes in for you. What you need to do is, as a black screen maker, is to go in and actually make a product that actually competes with our technology, which you can't do because we're too far ahead. That's why. So that's the problem they run into. So it's easier for them to make false accusations, but false accusations get you what? Jail time and lawsuits, which means are you willing to risk your time of being able to do what you want to do for freedom, go where you want to go, spend the rest of your life behind some bars, or 10 maybe 5 years of your time, which nobody wants to spend that much time anywhere in that place at all, period, trust me. Or get sued to the point where you're broke. I mean, you'll have to file for Chapter 11 to get out of it. So you don't want that, right? All right, then. Then this is what you do. Roll up your sleeves, get to work. That's what you do. And then you'll figure out that while you're doing all that testing, how difficult it is to actually develop black technology. You'll have a respect for it then. It's not an easy task. Well, for us it is, because, you know, what took us years. I mean, mind you, the step we had to go is years, 8 years. It takes a while to do it. It takes a while. You can't learn this overnight. It's impossible. That's what you found out from the guy. I had to put his name in the video, but the guy from Partey who tried to make this stuff called Series C. Remember that mess at the end of the day? Yeah, that stuff didn't go so well, did it? That's what happens when you make a fast, quick black paint and you don't know what you're doing. That's why it failed miserably. You even faked the gain on this stuff. None of this stuff was real on it. So again, you can't do quick, fast products. You don't have to do quick, fast products. So with that being said, you're going to have to take a couple years off to do it. It requires that. Look, man, I can basically in one day drop 10 videos in one day on different things that we show up on the screen. I can drop 10, more than that. I can drop close to about somewhere between 30, 40 videos. You know how much stuff we make in a day? There are days when I have to tell myself, okay, that's enough videos for today. Go to another site and start dropping. I drop about 10, 20 videos per site, because we already have that much technology to show off. We got the ceiling stuff. We got tape to the ceiling. We got screens over here. We got this black technology, jade technology, gaming technology. We got the paint technology. We got all this stuff we developed. You know how many different videos we can do? Say if I'm doing just the paint alone. The paint, we got ultra short throw, long throw, pico projectors, inside, outside. When we take it outside, we're going to do the same thing all over again on the same projectors all over again. How many videos that accumulates? And that's just one paint. Now we got a gunmetal technology we're engineering. And the gunmetal requires a ton of videos. Because you know why it requires all those videos? We're going against gunmetal itself. Not that fake gray charcoal mix, whatever these guys make. I'm talking about actual certified gunmetal. That's what we're going against. So I got to be at their forum sites showing a technology that's far advanced than a guy who just spent $15,000 for a screen. I got to beat their 0.8 gain, which we can easily do. Because the minute that screen becomes front and rear, that's it. That knocks out all their technology. You know why? Their screens aren't front and rear. They can't go outside. So if we can go outside and play at 300, they can't. And inside, if we can run out inside, we can run inside, outside at that capability. The inside projection is easy. The technology you see right there, that stuff runs outside at 50 to 300 lumens. Do you have any idea what those things look like inside? They go anywhere they want. Any commercial environment, any hospital, any school, any high-end commercial environment, they can run there easily. And they can run at 300 lumens easily in those environments. Projector cost? Nothing. That's cost $16.25 for my projector setup. All my projectors in here, I already have a track record showing and backing up that all my machines were under $200. And yet these screens go to a showroom. They got to dim the lights, $4,000, $5,000 projector, calibrated machine, and yet we could do that without even costing us that much money. You see that picture right there, the thumbnail? We can go out there and play. How many screens right now can go out in that thumbnail and play at 50 to 300 lumens? How many? None. Not one. Trust me, I got people I pay to research, to do background, to find people, to find companies, to find businesses. Anyone who comes close to our technology, their job is to research, find it, and bring it back to us. And there's nothing out there. Not a thing. We're the only company now that has the daylight. Well, actually, daylight color screens, daylight. I don't know how that's going to work out now when we actually have a screen that works out in the light time. But I don't know how it's going to work. So let's figure that one out. But anyway, we're the only ones who have that technology. That's why I put down real. Now, in order for you to prove that you have this capability, and I can't express this enough for those who keep making these fake gains, you're going to have to show multiple videos of you doing this. A lot of videos. If you notice that we're all over the place with this screen showing multiple videos. Even the cinematic, the black screen paint pulls up at 300 lumens outside. It can show a white level at 300 lumens outside. So if it can show a white level at 300 lumens outside, it can pick up white levels at 300 lumens outside. Do the whole 9 yards. You gray screens can't even register a black level out there, which I'm going to show you pretty soon. We get some good weather. I'll be out there with the gray mix, or new mix, which we call Realistic Metallica 2. We're not calling it 2.0 because it's not, it ain't anywhere near a 2.0, period. Trust me. Metallica, it's called, we're going to call it just the name to it too. The Realistic, okay, I guess Realistic Metallica 2. Because it's actually the real one. It has mic in it. You're supposed to, let's cover this real quick. I can't express it enough. How the frick were you selling a product? You know what I'm talking to, that one person who does the most, he's a black guy, the black sheep of projection screens. That's what he is. He's a black sheep of projection screens. How do you sell a product called Metallica Mix and it doesn't have any silver in it? And that's where everybody was sitting there scratching their head on the forum side. It's called what? There's no silver in that. He ain't put any silver. What is that? That's not even real. So we made a real version of it. We put Metallica, we put dark mica in there, so we put into it. And guess what? It works better than the other product that we bought from him. Because there's silver in this one. It's actually the real deal. So we call it the real deal. That's what it is. But that's what I'm going to have outside. I'm going to take that outside and we're going to do some demonstrations. And we're going to use that paint we got in the box. Because you know why that paint in the box is very important? Why it's more important than any other paints we ever purchased from him ever? That's a refusal box. That paint was made exactly the same way we made it. He made it in this video. Sorry, buddy, put you in here, but it is what it is. And we sent the paint to him to put it against his products, all his products, because that's what we found out in our test, that when we made the paint, it matched the stuff we bought. So we sent it back to him with a real version of the product in it, which had mic in it. And it was refused, it was sent back to us. So that's why that box under my table is more valuable than the other paints we had, because the owner himself refused it and sent it back to me, the person who made that paint. So it'll be outside everywhere. So you can't get upset about that one. You can't say, well, it doesn't resemble my other paints. See, here's the thing about that one. You had the opportunity to prove that one if you took the package. If you had took the package, you would have been able to show us on live that that paint right there doesn't match the other mixes. But because you refused it and sent it back, that means that my theory was right. Take me to court on it, see if I don't win. All right, then. That means what's under my table right now is all your mixes right there. That's it. All right, let's move on from there, because that just makes me depressed just to talk about this guy. He does so much weird stuff. Anyway, so we're working on a daylight projection screen, a screen that operates outside, and that's why we're doing all these demonstrations. And I think the projector for this right now we're using is our old Sonic projector, which is I find interesting because people say you don't work with unnamed brand projectors. We don't, but I've had this projector for over 10 years. That's why. I had it for over 10 years. I've tested this thing on just about everything we have. And this projector was fantastic. So the company who makes this, hey, beautiful projector, by the way. I freaking love these things. On top of that, small, I can take it where I want. Now, once the battery system comes in, then we can have some fun. We can take the big screens out, take them where they want to go here, go there. I plan to be all over Allentown. I'm going to go to major, what do you call it? Major, I would say, points of Allentown, like their landmarks. So that way, it comes off nicely for us, because when we're showing off different areas right with the screen, everybody's familiar with those areas. There's an area right in the middle of Allentown. It's actually the centerpiece of Allentown. I got to go back to the city and have some questions about this one right here, because it's only for a couple minutes. I should be to do it. I should be to sit up and do a little demonstration there. And top, it's a main point. It's a lot of freaking foot traffic in that section, so I'm going to be, my card's going to get worn out in there. I'm definitely going to be cling, 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 because I got the digital cards now. Because, man, that screen pulls up there. We do get some demonstration videos in there. It'll be beautiful. And the beautiful thing about how amazing how God's technology is, I'm sitting back here thinking like, okay, we're going to be out here. We're going to be doing demonstrations. I'm going to have to rent some places out. These places can get pretty expensive, you know, to show off our videos. and stuff like that. And then now we have a technology that allows us to go anywhere we want. I don't have to pay for any of these places. I mean, these are open areas. And because I'm not even out there, I'm only out there for a couple of minutes. That means a permit's not needed. They're like, you don't need a permit. Because you're not out there shooting a movie. We don't have to stop traffic. We don't need tons of equipment out there and people out there like blocking the streets. We don't need it. It's just me out there with a camera, like, doop, doop, couple minutes, I'm done, I'm out. It was like, no, you don't need that, you're good. So that means I got free roam to go anywhere I want. Now, the only thing I would have to ask permission from, if it's on someone else's property, I do go and ask permission, get my card, and click over, and go on my website, see what I'm all about. So that works out fantastic, because again, with the digital cards, they get directed right to the website. So they get a chance to see what our company's about, so that's good. But other than that, everybody else has been cool about it, you know what I mean? And then knowing that this stuff is going to be, I got somebody from the city, this guy works with major companies, other companies, small businesses to get them up and going. Head director was in here looking at our technology, and yes, loved every bit of it, loved every minute of it, loved it. I can't wait to get him out there and say, hey, look, check it out. Matter of fact, we can go to the building where he's at right now. You can come outside, you can see it right outside the building, because we can generate it right there, right in front of the building, at 300 lumens, at 200 lumens. I'm sorry, 50 lumens. We can generate it right out there. So with that being the case, now we got the free roam to go anywhere we want. Our technology pulls up an amazing, incredible levels inside and out. We don't require high and expensive projectors, which saves me a ton of money on top of that. And we got the go anywhere, anytime projection screen. We already have one. We have a daylight, real daylight projection screen. Isn't that freaking amazing? And tell me God's not good. Tell me God is not good. And then on top of that, I can't tell you about these other people who got involved, because again, we don't weirdos involved with this. But we got another major, big organization down here that is very interested in getting this technology everywhere in our town. Big one. So the Lord blessed us to get set up quite nicely. Despite the individuals online who work so hard at doing Satan's work of trying to destroy our company, you thought you could stop God. See, that's the damn message to you. You really thought, the devil told you at the end of the day that you were going to be able to stop God. Didn't he try that one already? That's where he ended up in the situation he's at right now, to mess with you. Because, you know, Lucifer, when he was an angel, had no interest in you at all, period. He just didn't. He was just a high servant of God. But he's telling you the same thing that he couldn't do when he was in heaven. He was actually in heaven side by side with God and could not complete the task of overthrowing God. And you, now, the hideous beast of whatever he is, whispers in your ears and tells you that you're going to overthrow me at the end of the day, a servant of God. Good luck with that one right there. You didn't really think that one thing, did you? No, you didn't. He did, because he knew you couldn't do anything to me. He knew that from the door you couldn't do anything to me. But he knew he can get you to do reckless stuff so he can do stuff to you. That's a very interesting theory, isn't it? You got to think about some of this stuff I tell you. And think about it. There you go. He got you to do exactly what he wanted you to do. And you did it. What was the outcome of it all? Nothing happened to us. We serve Jesus. We would never have that problem, ever. You have a problem because you serve the devil. And he don't bless, he curses. Anyway, I'm happy. We're on a new path. Everything's going well. Pretty soon we're going to have a new huge facility to work in. And what is he wants to put a half pipe. You can literally put a half pipe. That's what it's called. Well, anyway, I don't skateboard. Anyway, but that's what he wants to put in there. And we got the room for it. It's big. The place is big. I'm going to need a freaking scooter to get around in there. I'll tell you the truth, I am not walking to that thing. But anyway, we got plenty of room to build big screens in. I need big giant screens, and then people can come in and see these screens. This is all going to be offline. We're not recording or documenting any of this. We already got to take people to court for stalking us and some other weirdo nonsense where some guy wanted to have sexual relationships with me. You all know who that guy is. Woo, man. I told you at the end of the day, when I expressed to you people that we got some weirdos at the end of the day, and they involve that group. That group is weird. I told you. That whole little pack, that whole little community they got over there with, you know what I'm talking about. They are weird. And I told you that the other one, yeah, has some weird tendencies, and he's been saying some weird stuff to me. He sends me weird stuff. Yeah, I told you. We told you this. And you thought we were blowing this stuff out of proportion by saying that, yeah, we were being stalked by them. This guy was following me and looking inside my apartments and sending me pictures of my cats. You know what I'm talking about. Weirdo. And that's the guy you sent over all your information when you purchased that paint. You think about that one for a minute. But anyway, I got work to do. I'm going outside with my little projector, getting some videos everywhere. You know what I want? I said the one I want when we get the battery pack system in, I want one done in a sunset. Oh, I think that would be gorgeous. A sunset scenery. Not on this, I want scenery in our background with probably like, I don't know, we'll do like some stars or a moonlight city. And oh man, tell me that wouldn't be some gorgeous. The thing about it is the background now, like most people when they have a projection screen set up and they're doing videos, you have to have a good background. The world is our background now. Do you understand the power we have now? The world is literally our background. We can go anywhere we want. And that technology is only 15% completed. And we have the ability to go anywhere we want. Those screens are submersible, which means I can stick that thing under any waterfall, whatever, and push an image right through it. Yeah, they do a lot of crazy stuff. We're still learning about it at 15%. We're still finding out what these things can do. That's our future right there. That's the future, people. You're looking at the actual future of projection screens. And for anyone out there who sits there and says, oh, not true, hey, back it up or pack it up. You know how it works at the end of the day. Back it up or pack it up. And some people have packed it up already. Back it up or pack it up. And if you feel that every demonstration I've done is fake, let's sign a contract and let's walk it into a courtroom for $1 million. I can make that statement. How many of you can make that statement? There you go. Because you can't. You can't back your stuff up. Anyway, I'm going to go outside and play. And get some videos. Hopefully we don't have a lot of rain. We got a lot of rain coming in. I got to build my outer box. To get my outer box built, I can do demonstrations in the rain. Oh, that'd be so much fun. I love doing demonstrations in the rain. I really do. That's something you have to see. You have to request demonstrations in the rain. You know what happens to fabric? If it gets soaking wet, it goes dark. So you have to be able to show your product can work in a soaking wet fabric. They haven't done that for you yet, have they? No, that's very important. It has to be done. We've done that when we froze the screen in a block of ice. Matter of fact, I'm going to upload that video again. I had to freeze the screen in a block of ice, pull it up, and the screen was soaking wet. You got to watch a demonstration of soaking wet screens. Because what happens when the screens become soaking wet, they go dark. So you're happy to show your product can work on a soaking wet screen, inside and outside. When we did those 250s, I did some of those 250s after it rained outside. That's why we're outside when it's wet. Show the screen can still generate when the screen's wet. If you haven't gotten one of those demonstrations, you might want to request that from anyone making a product. You want to see that. And people, I can't express enough. When you're watching demonstrations in these darker environments, request that those windows be open up. Request that those screens be pointed toward the window so the light's making contact with the window. Request that all blinds be set this way. You want to be to see objects on the opposite side of the blinds. At those blinds, you can't see objects. That means they're slanted. That means so the light pushes down, but it gives you little slithers of light to make it look like you're actually seeing like the windows are open, but they're not. So this is why on the other page we have, we're setting up something called Customer Shopping Projection 101. What's in there is all the stuff that you need to know when you shop for a projection screen. Questions you need to ask. So it's like the equivalent of you buying a car, but you got a mechanic teaching you everything you need to know about basically buying a proper screen. And if they say if any of them say at the end of the day that, hey, what Mr. Bird is saying is fake, you tell them to come see me. And we'll go to court and walk it in. That's what we'll do. And I'll show you where my theory is true and where your theory is wrong. Put your money where your mouth is at. Or your mouth or your money, wherever to make a difference. Now, for people sit there and say, well, you don't have $1 million. No, I don't have $1 million. But the fact that I can make that statement shows you I can back my product up. All right, then. That's how we do it. But until then, customers, we're going to have a page on there to educate you on what you need to ask for. We're going to show you how to find all the hidden areas in the videos where they're hiding, where they're redirecting light, where basically they're lying about this and lying about that. We're going to expose all that so you can see all that to educate you when you buy something, so that way you don't get ripped off buying something that doesn't work. Number one, most important thing you need to ask, batch number verifications. You want them. You want to see all testing on all products before products were shipped. And most importantly, those contrast levels must be done in fully lit environments. If they're doing them in dark environments, they're cheating you. All contrast levels must be done in fully lit environments. Because guess what's going to happen when you come home? You're going to turn your lights on, right? And your screen's going to wash out. Because you know why? They did the demonstration in the dark. That's why. If you're watching demonstrations where a person's constantly hitting those video demonstrations with ultra short throws, request long throws. And request long throws at 600 by 800, 720p. You know why? Because the resolution count is extremely low. And at that distance, that screen's going to have some complications by the time they make contact with the screen. It's just going to have a deterioration issue. That's what's going to happen. So these are the stuff going to help you and educate you on inside, outside screens, what kind of projectors to buy, especially if you're buying 720p models. If you're buying venue projectors, what to look for. I've got a long history of working with venues. They can't tell you jack about venues because they don't work with venues. But anyway, I work with venues, so I can tell you all this stuff. How to navigate eBay. I buy all my projectors from eBay. So I get really good stuff. I've had a lot of stuff, about a majority of all my projectors from eBay. So I know exactly what to look for. We have a section we're going to be putting under really good called Good Merchant, Bad Merchant. Bad merchant people we don't do business with because the stuff didn't work well when we did the unboxing. Good merchant because it did work well. And that's where we buy from. All right. That's basically about it. I'm glad we had this nice little talk out in the open. I think if I do my form sites like this, it's going to be much better. Instead of me going off the rats. I keep praying on it. I keep praying, Lord, help me with this. Don't let me go off topic, Lord. Help me, Lord. I need help, Lord. I keep going off topic, then I got to delete the video because I'm not happy with the video. Help me, Lord. Help me. And then the Lord said, you know what? I got you. I got you. So he's got me. So with that being said, people, be safe out there. Be careful. God bless. And we got to get out here and get this task done because I'm planning to build the most advanced projection screens on the market. I'm planning to build the most affordable technology on the market. Now, keep in mind real quick, when we say affordable, we don't mean them gray paints at the end of the day. Not that. We don't compare ourselves to that mess. The ones that are doing well, fantastic products that I've had tested yourself. The other ones, those fakos, that crap is just crap. That's all it is from the door. It's just crap. We don't compare ourselves to that mess. We compare ourselves to certified. So when I go into a room, my product is tested against high-grade screens. And for the person that said about the Parallax, do you have any idea how many different certified screens I have tested against? If I did the same testing, as you said, I falsified on the Parallax, then I don't think Black Diamond would have contacted me with an email telling me my stuff had potential. I think I would have got the lawsuit first. Right? There you go. So as many certified screens that I have tested down through time, and the fact you come up with one and try to make a false statement on that when I did that 4 years ago, all right then, that tells you right there, pure jealousy. But anyway, moving on, we put our stuff next to certified. So you compare our $300, $400 paints to a $7,000 projection screen. That's how we do it. And that technology right there right now is competing with the LG invisible screens right now. So that's where we go. They can't do that comparison by making that statement that our products can save you money, because basically it can't save you any money because, again, it can't pull contrast. It's not ambient light projection technology. As you've seen, we had posts saying it's not ambient light projection technology. It doesn't do anything it's supposed to do but sit in the dark and lie. That's it. And get refusals. We got it right back here, but that tells you right there. So it is what it is. All right, people, got to go. Thank you for your time, and God bless.